better, it's just getting worse. They'll stick you up for all your...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rants and Tangents Podcast with Daryl Smith Jr.
Shayla.
And Ray Parker.
And we have been going for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, and we are back for 2019 with the new hot freshness.
It's lit.
Fresh out the stove and all that jazz. We
It's
hear
lit.
it.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
How low
What's
can you
wrong
say
with
Happy
that?
New Year? Not New Year's. But how low can we say Happy
That
New
was
Year?
purposeful.
Well, I say if you've just seen somebody for the first time this year, then it's a Happy New Year.
Okay, but
Other
is
than
it
that,
like,
that's it.
what about if you see him in February?
No, I feel like,
I'm
come
not
on.
thinking
Now
about
we got
it.
you.
It's a little more.
Yeah. I mean, so
it's
what's
still
the
fresh.
cutoff?
We
Like,
2 weeks in. It's fresh.
January, Martin Luther King Day.
It's till
I get that. I like that. I like that
I
cutoff.
think that's
It's
I
till
like
it's
that cutoff.
till it's not on my mind.
Yeah, I like that cutoff. That's a good cutoff.
Yeah, February. Martin Luther King Day. Good cutoff. Anyway, how's everybody been doing? How's y'all break been? What's new? What's the deal, man? It's been
Break.
so long.
What break?
We just had 3 weeks.
Break from this. I'm thinking you're talking about from life. I'm like,
No,
shit,
ain't no such thing as breaks from
What
life.
you talking about?
You
Break.
know, life is every day. I'm just talking about breaks from the podcast.
Honestly, if and when we take breaks from the podcast, it doesn't make me want to stop doing the podcast, but I get comfortable not doing it. Yeah, I get comfortable with this time. Because what everybody has to understand is this is time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we're always recording for somewhere between an hour and 2 hours.
And it's time before it. It's time after it.
Yes.
It's time.
It's worth the investment.
So
the time investment.
yeah, that'd be me.
For me. No, not for
Sunday
me.
come,
I be
I'm
missing the podcast. I'm gonna keep it real.
No, I like to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying
Allocating the time to do it
Yeah.
is strenuous on you.
Yeah.
I
I'm
get
just
it.
talking to you guys, like just about shit, like even the stuff outside of the pod, like
Right.
before we, before
It'd be hard
after.
to even engage in conversations outside the podcast. Like people be wanting to have these deep ass, long ass conversations. They'd be like, I'm trying to save my good shit for the podcast. They're just like, but you get pulled into these conversations. You're like, oh fuck, I just share my opinion. I'm like, all right. And then I gotta preface all my statements like, all right, listen, this might be a little bit unpopular, so right? just brace yourself for it. Because I realize I don't agree with a lot of people no more. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm comfortable with letting people know I don't agree with them. Usually I'll just sit there and be quiet and let people say dumb shit or shit that I don't agree with and just, now I gotta let you know. Sorry. But
I think that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, but
Well, we back.
it's good, man. We back, another episode. So much has been happening, social media uproar over different things and shit like that. But before we get back to that, though,
Before we get to that,
do y'all have New Year's resolutions anymore?
No, I don't do that.
I have one. It's very broad though, just to be happy and in love with whatever is happening in my life that's supposed to be in my life. That was it.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Why
well,
don't you do it? I don't do it formally, meaning I don't spew it into the world. It's really a personal thing. It's just that I do like to signify change at any point I can. So it's just like, you know what, from this point on, I'm gonna step up in this realm. So it's just like more so me being intentional about certain things that I felt like I was a little, weak in. So,
Sure.
No New Year, new me.
no,
I don't know.
Like, why do you
I
always want to be a new person every
know.
year?
I love it.
Absolutely
It's
not.
absurd.
I still love myself.
I mean,
Really,
for me, it's
absurd
like
shit.
once I got to a space where I was like, man, every day is a fresh start. Then I got to the space where I was like, every hour is a fresh start. Then I'm like, man, every fucking minute I can make a fresh start.
Yeah.
Learn something new.
I stopped needing a year.
Yeah. Or to wait for you.
Because then I was about to say, then I'm waiting for a year.
Right.
All right, next month. I promise myself next month. No, I'd rather consistently be challenging myself. Today, I'm going to stop doing this. Or today, I'm going to start doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I fail, fine. Then tomorrow, I'm going to start doing this.
Right.
Right.
But to keep trying. I don't want to start with a new year and be like, all right, new year, new me. The new me now has more patience. January 3rd, patience failed me, and I'm pissed off. Now what do I gotta wait a new year? Do I try? Like, no, I don't want to live like
Right.
that. It's every day, every hour, every minute, every Monday. However, I want it. I just restart.
Right.
Or adapt or change or modify or adjust.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, nothing really matters outside of this very moment.
Right.
Honestly.
Yep.
The future is not real because it doesn't exist, and
And
the
it's not
past is
promised.
just a memory.
Yep.
Right.
That's 9 times out of 10 wrong. Honestly, did y'all know any vivid memories y'all have
I
are
just
9
realized
times
I'm-
out of 10 incorrect?
False memories, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, blew my mind.
I've realized I suppressed a lot of memories and shit. Like over recent times, discussions I've been having, I suppressed so much shit. I've been like, yo, that's why I don't live there no more. Like, shit. So if it's, I hope it's fiction. Like, some of my memories. Because I just like, I don't know.
I know what I remember to be true, and I do get in a space because in psychology we learned about false memories. So I think learning about that helped me start thinking that I had false memories. So now sometimes I'm like, is this exactly how it happened, or is this real? Because I have had vivid ass dreams that 5 years later I don't remember if it was just a dream or if it was reality.
I still remember a dream from when I was 5 years old. Never forget it. I had to be about 5. But anyway, I was on the Pass Young Bridge, the drawbridge or whatever that everybody drive over and shit. And I was playing with, you remember them little spin around things that you could pull a thing and then like the cow goes moo. The chicken goes
Yeah.
It used to spin around shit. I was playing with one of those sitting on the side of the Pass Young Bridge. That to this day why I'm afraid of heights. That's why I have anxiety of heights. I know that. I knew that for a very long time. It's just like that dream still to this day is vivid. And as soon as you know how you fall and you wake up, it was one of those dreams. Like I fell off the bridge and I woke up. I don't know what, but we used to go back to South Philly all the time when I was a kid. So I used to go to daycare down there. So I just remember, and I was sitting on the side of that bridge. But it's just certain things I remember from childhood that I'll never forget. Dreams and shit.
My most memorable dream that I just can remember so clear, Captain Crunch tried to drown me. And I woke up, you know, like if you're having a dream, you're suffocating, you're probably really suffocating them. And so I woke up in my face, I had the covers in my mouth, but the dream was so real. And I'm like, I woke up like Captain Crunch is trying to fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Well, of course it was just a dream, there was no Captain Crunch.
I
I remember it so clear. I don't eat Captain Crunch. Cut the roof of your mouth. I don't fuck with it.
I had this
But I remember
dream
he tried to kill me.
that and it was like a dream inside of a dream because I woke up and it happened again, like in the dream, and then I woke up and it was I woke up and we were in the middle room at my grandma's house when we were younger. We used to live there, and I had my own bed, and Diane and Davon had their own bed. We was all in the same room now. So I woke up, everybody else was asleep, and for whatever reason, like I had my hand under the pillow and it was shit on my hands. So I lifted up the pillow and it was like a sea of fucking spiders. And I was like, ah, and I screamed and I woke up and I lifted the pillow again thinking, it was a dream, and it was a sea of spiders. So I screamed again and I woke up and that was real life and it was nothing under there.
Spiders, literally spiders in your bed.
Yeah, in a dream. Twice.
That's
Twice.
scary.
Twice.
Yeah, that was like some Inception shit.
It was really weird. Really weird. It was premonition though, because then Diane used to put his lizards under my pillow when I was asleep when they
Toy
died.
lizards?
No, they were real lizards that he like
put
used
dead
to love
lizards?
and he would like put their tails, like when they're on the cusp of dying, their tails, piece of their tail starts to fall off. So we would like put it on my pillow, put it under the bed, or throw them on me. Yeah, bugs. My life.
Your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know siblings torture each other.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
way.
don't feel like I was a torturing sibling, though.
I was tortured. I never had the opportunity because I never had younger siblings. So.
Yeah. I was the only girl, so it was just like around my life.
All right, well, y'all, let's get into it. We 2 weeks after Surviving R.Kelly premiered,
Yeah.
we have touched on R.Kelly again. Before, excuse me. We want to touch on R.Kelly again.
Yes.
And R. Kelly's touching.
Since y'all care again.
But I don't, from my perspective, I don't want to focus so much on R. Kelly versus I want to talk about the issues that arise from the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So where y'all want to go? Where y'all want to start?
I'll start by saying I did not watch it.
You didn't watch it?
Wow, okay.
I had no fucking desire.
I
I
like
was
that
slightly intrigued just because of the people's responses and how bizarre I thought a lot of shit people were saying about it were, like their take on it, how they thought about it where blame was placed for certain people. It was bizarre to me, so I had like an inkling to watch it for that, but I had no desire to watch that shit. Like,
Did you watch it?
none whatsoever.
Okay. I watched 6.
I watched 5.
5.
6 was overkill.
Sure. So you literally watched none.
None of it.
So
Like,
what
I didn't watch any
weirdness.
clips or any shit like that. Like, nothing. Nothing at all.
Alright, so we might have to give some background as to what happened. Or with the document. Alright, I think we should start by just talking about a little bit what's going on in the documentary. That way we can kind of get into kind of what our thoughts on it are. So basically, of course, they interviewed a bunch of people that were involved with R.Kelly during that time. Some of the girls that were underage that he was dating, the people that was around him, enabling him to date. They, of course, talked about Aaliyah. They spoke about his wife, this other underage girl that he wrote the song about, where he said, "I'll never leave," the one he got pregnant. The other underage girl that was sleeping with the 12-year-old
14-year-old girl.
that didn't know she was 12 until the girl said, "I gotta get my driver's license" or something like that. She was
said,
like,
"I'm
"I
gonna
thought
get a car
she
when I
was
was
16."
16.
Yeah,
She
she
said,
was
"No,
like,
I'm
"No, I'm
15."
15." And she was like, "We've been having threesomes together for like, I don't
She's
know,
supposed to be 18.
over time." And she was 18 at the time. Yeah, that. And she said that was an issue too. I don't know. I mean, I guess it helped for public opinion to drag him, but it was just, I think, repetitive in the information. Like, obviously he has a pattern of this behavior. Obviously he's sick. It came out that, of course, he was raped as a child, and hurt people. His brother, one of his brothers was shot out.
Youngest brother
His older brother was shot out. His younger brother
was also molested. Oldest brother's in jail. I like older girls. R.Kelly like younger girls.
What's the
What's
big
the problem
deal?
is?
He wasn't there.
Maybe that's why you're in jail.
We saw the nigga that signed Aaliyah's marriage, it's false marriage
Falsified
certificate.
the documents for that because she was 15 to 18
for
on there.
R.Kelly.
Kelly was supposed to be 27.
And she was 15 at the time. What else we had? I don't know. That's the background to it.
So,
yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is I knew all that just based on social media.
What I think, I knew everything that was in the documentary. What I think the documentary did well was, for me, was give me the context. Because everybody should have known about Aaliyah. Everybody should have, at this point, the sex code had already become urban legend, hip hop, culture, news, whatever. So we know about that.
Yes.
But the level of details, the way he is recruiting the 17-year-old, he's being strategic. Recruit the 17-year-old, wait till she turn 18, snatch her at 18, lock her in the house, have her committed to you, piss and shit on her, have her piss in a bucket, can't leave her room. Who's your most hated person? I got 2 people I hate from it. Let's change hate from blame. Who you blame?
Who do I blame? R.Kelly and the people that enable it, the people around him.
So I blame the perpetrator first. I blame the enablers. That guy that was forging documents that said he was a fucking hypocrite. I talked to R.Kelly about it. He said he wasn't messing with Aaliyah, and I believed him. And then
he got her pregnant.
He said, I think Aaliyah in trouble. She might be pregnant. I got her pregnant. Nigga. And then you forged the marriage document. So his story didn't align to me. He deserves an indictment. He deserves to go to jail. I blame R.Kelly first. I blame him and the people around him, the enablers. I blame Sparkle.
At first I did.
I still do.
I went back on it though.
Why?
When she said that when she went to the studio and saw, because she introduced, but she didn't introduce her, I don't think, in the presence of mind of him raping little girls at the time. I didn't feel like she was fully aware that he was
let you finish your
into
take.
young women like that. But I blame her for introducing the girl. But then when she said her parents were bringing her to the studio and leaving her by herself, Sparkle said, whenever I came to the studio, I kept my eye on her at all times.
I didn't hear that.
She said that. She said whenever I came to the studio, I would be in the booth and I'd be my eyes.
Well, she said
on
that.
her. And then she said I came to the studio one day and she was there. I'm blaming Sparkle up until that point. And then when she said I came to the studio and saw the little girl there, and realized her parents had dropped her off and left, it was like, all right, her parents is the fuck. Like, it was just like Sparkle introduced it to the fold, but her parents kept that shit going.
Well, of course,
I'm not leaving my
the
daughter.
child's parents as well.
Yeah.
But why they weren't on it, I don't know them.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
took
know Sparkle. But why I blame Sparkle? You gotta look at the whole timeline of it for me.
Mhm.
Sparkle was aware of the Aaliyah situation. At that point, everybody was aware of the Aaliyah situation. If you weren't, that was your selective ignorance. All right. So you was aware of that. Sparkle tells a story of being in R.Kelly's house, hearing banging upstairs.
Oh yeah.
The fuck is that? R.Kelly's wife, like, peeks around, peeks down. Can I get something to eat? Can I go to the bathroom? Can I do... Every woman he deals with has to ask permission to do everything. Literally, with no exaggeration, everything. You want to piss, you want to shit, gotta let me know. Want to get something to eat, you gotta let me know. Makes them dress up like boys.
Control freak.
Controls them. So that was our strike one was Aaliyah. But then, all right, I'll ignore Aaliyah for a moment. Strike one can be when you said he was a domestic abuser, and you said that couldn't be me. That wouldn't be me. Okay. But then you introduce him into your. Okay.
That's his woman.
But then you introduce your niece to him because your niece wants to be a rapper. She's 13, 14. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This 13, 14-year-old girl, I'm going to introduce R.Kelly to spark her rap career because she was so passionate about it. Okay. That's strike 1.5. I'll give you that. You're trying to help your niece, you say. Here's strike 2.5 to 3. You in a studio randomly, not randomly, you're there for a reason, and you just happen to see your niece just in there chilling by herself.
That's the issue.
I know Aaliyah. I know he's a control freak and a domestic abuser. I see my niece in here unsupervised. I'm going to say that I kept an eye on her while I was in the booth.
No, well, she said that before that. Before she even observed her niece in the studio. And I don't want to make this like I'm defending Sparkle because I'm not. I think she's a culprit too.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like stronger about what her parents did versus Sparkle. She said when I would bring her myself, basically my eyes would be on her the whole time. Like she wouldn't leave my sight. But
yeah,
then,
she would see
there,
her there,
and her
and
parents dropped her off.
you made no move. Now the girl's dad is a guitar player. They cited him multiple times on there, but the dad's not there. I mean, I'm not. I've never been in. I've been in recording studios. I've never been a recording artist, but it don't be 9 times out of 10 in this day and age, or even 10 years ago, there weren't live bands in the studio like that.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Smokey Robinson and them. This isn't Motown. There wasn't live bands in there, so her pop's not there.
No, they dropped her off.
You see her there, and you don't do shit about it. Okay, fast forward.
And they having sleepovers there.
They have
That's-
sleepovers,
that was
other things.
my
There's
reason.
beds in the studio. What else do I need to know? For me, I blame all of them. I blame the parents. I think it was a good documentary. I think it was very informative for me. What it has done is I want to talk to, honestly, every woman of color, and I want to understand you, ladies. I want to understand how, and I'm gonna get to men. Right now, I'm raising a black girl, so I want to understand you, black girls. What is the fascination with R.Kelly and men like him? When you have context, when you have information. One girl was a teenager, 14, 15, 16, I think she was, going to the trial. So she saw the video, she heard the testimony, knew all this shit. But I don't believe it can't be true. Now you wind up being a victim, you say. She goes with
And recruited her girlfriend.
And recruited her friends. She was apparently with R.Kelly, she says, for 6 months. How? So I need ladies to understand the thought process on what I need to instill in my children and my daughters to not do this. I'm going to continue to be sensitive to it because we'll get into other spins, but a part of me is raw, and so I'll be raw in this moment. How the hell do you see it and then say it's not true?
You're actually have a 14 and 15-year-old girl.
I'm saying
that is a grown man kind of.
I'm saying there was a 33-year-old woman too.
She's a dickhead. I think it's different. That's a different situation.
And that's what I'm saying to all.
Yeah.
Because we've now seen it with the teenagers, we've seen it with the early 20s, we've seen it with 30-year-olds. We see his wife 2 years ago or a few years ago playing his music, Just My Baby Daddy. Support him. Separate the music from the abuse and everything else.
I think we gotta unpack the entire.
It's bizarre.
That's the thing, and I'm trying to understand why would I separate the art from the person? The person is the art. The artist is the art. I don't separate the art from the artist.
No, he said the person is the art.
The person is the art, and especially we're talking about music. The person is definitely the art. Like we can start with age ain't nothing but a number. The person is the art. No, we can keep going. He's telling y'all exactly what he's doing.
The Pied fucking Piper, man.
Listen, telling y'all what he's doing. The person is the art.
Go ahead.
And then I'll drop every once in a while. I believe I can fly. I wish all that inspirational shit. Step in the name of love. Y'all gonna love me.
Saying I believe I can fly up in my grade.
We sung
I know
that time in school.
you did. Everybody did. Everybody stepped in the name of love.
Me and my mom used to step so hard in the name of love.
I know y'all stepped in the name of love.
For me, I'm going to be putting out a survey. I think
the
I'm doing a
remix to
survey
it.
monkey. I want men and women to take this survey. I need to understand not necessarily why we should still continue to support R.Kelly, but what is the thought, the mindset, where I can see the evidence in my face and still put myself in that situation. I saw him fuck R.Kelly. Let's do another situation. This sexy guy saw him slap the shit out of a woman in public. A month later, he approaches me and I give him my number. What? Why? Whoa, wait a minute. I've seen that happen. Why? What is the mindset of change? I can change him. It's not going to be me. That wouldn't be me. That couldn't be me.
Oops, it's me.
Now it's me. Now I'm trying to get out of it.
That's what it is. And the peculiar thing about this shit is that abusive guys, they go for a certain type of woman, and the women are they're not aware of the fact that they have this thing inside of them, and it's not to place blame. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's something about them that it triggers this man and says, I can do this to her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that people are aware of it, and these women obviously aren't aware of it because it's that they have this, it wouldn't be me mentality. Not even, they kind of live in a bubble, and they do separate the fucked up shit. This is in regular relationships. It occurs often, and I don't think that... The more you want a person,
the more shit you let fly.
The more shit you let fly.
I think it's common human behavior.
It's common human behavior. It really is, and it just... When it's so perverse, when it's so blatantly perverse in a situation like this, you're forced to question it in ways that you wouldn't normally question it. You get over on people, you know what I'm saying? Like in slight ways, just because you can, you can, and he just can in a way that people wouldn't even think to do.
Well, I do remember what his baby mom was saying, or his ex-wife was saying, that it's in stages. Like, he's super charming, super all that shit, but it's just like little things like call me daddy, and then it's the next level where he isolates you from your family, slowly but surely. Then it's the next level, and you know what that took me back to?
He a pimp.
Being a pimp, but it took me back to what's love got to do with it. Remember when Ike Turner went to Tina Turner's mom and spoke to her and made her mother feel comfortable with her being with him, and then was able to take her out on tour, make it look like he's whining and dining her? I'll take you one step further. I remember this was the most pimpish shit I ever seen. This chick just had a baby in the hospital. Baby not even 3 days old. She said, I need, doctor said I need the rest or whatever. He said, baby, we ain't gonna listen to the doctors. We got money to make. We got San Antonio, Cincinnati. Like, we got to go get this money, baby. So we got to get back on tour. Carried her out of the hospital, a brand new baby out of the hospital without any medical supervision. Took her to San Juan, Mexico, and married her. Just him and they little cult, their little band and shit. And then was abusing her out on the road. This is what I think, not predators. This is what abusive men do. Like that, and then when you call your mom for salvation, Ike is nothing but a gentleman. Ike ain't. Why would you try to leave Ike? All that money y'all got. How are you unhappy?
So how do we make?
Her mom called Ike on her when she tried to leave him.
So how do we make the abuser predator playbook public knowledge? Because it's all the same shit.
I feel
First,
like it is public.
Not even
Yeah.
first. At some point, I'm gonna isolate you. That way, you become completely and feel completely reliant on me. At some point, I'm gonna start initiating rules. At some point, I'm gonna have you call me something other than my name. At some point, I am going to either be very physical with you or
Very gentle.
make you very fearful of a physical situation. Even I could make you think I'm going to hit you and never had hit you before.
That's pimp shit.
And that's what it's exactly. If you watch any 60s, 70s pimp movies, it's the same
Isn't there actually a handbook
criteria.
about it? I don't
Pimp,
know.
I
who
just
wrote
read it.
Yeah, the pimp crime.
Iceberg Slim. So I think the way Iceberg Slim described it is the reason his name is Iceberg is because he's the coldest motherfucker. Like he was known for being the coldest motherfucker, unmoved by anything, right? He said you have to be like God to the women. You have like whatever the situation is, even in situations where she know you'll beat her ass, you don't beat her ass. And if you do beat her ass, you flip the script by making her believe that she
It's her
deserved
fault.
it.
Yeah.
And then you wipe her off, wipe her clean, act, tell her whatever
You're
you need to tell her.
apologetic.
Seem apologetic, make her think that you love her. And then the more that she, you do that shit, you just break them down mentally and spiritually. Like there are men that are brilliant. That's why you be hearing about the women with PhDs and master's degrees getting outed by a nigga with an 8th grade education. It's because some people understand people. Some people know how are master manipulators. And once they got you, and nobody's above it. It's just finding yourself in that situation. You don't know what's happening until you when it's happening. You just look up 3 years down the line and you realize you ain't spoke to your best friend in 3 years. You got choked out on the couch and you took him back, and you know what I mean? And nigga went and bought you a new bag or whatever you love, and you was forgiven. And how many people outside of your situation said it couldn't be me? Period. Like it don't even have to be abusive, just in your relationship. And you tell them about what you're going through, they're like, girl, I would have been left that nigga. Then you see, or nigga, I would have been left that chick. And then you see later down the line somebody doing the same shit or worse than them. And you like, where was that saying? Keep that same energy.
Same energy.
All right.
It's an energy.
3 parents in here. We have parents who have not seen their child in 2+ years. A parent
Could be me.
think that you know where the child is. For example, say you didn't watch it. I can't think of the girl's name. It might be the Zelia one. I can't think of the girl's name, but the parents are at the studio where they believe she's at. There's it's a female in there. They can't figure out if it's their daughter because nobody will answer. Call the police for a well check. Call twice, police come. Nobody's gonna answer the door. Won't let us in, so we can't do the well check. Well check's illegal. You can do it, but somebody has to let you in their home, or you have to have a warrant. All facts. I said it, and then the next day Master P said it. But I want to get y'all take. You haven't seen your child in 2 or 3 years. Now, your child at this point, 18, 19, 20, complete legal freedom. You fear that your child is in danger, or at least in this situation. The women in R.Kelly's charge are not technically in danger. Sure, let me modify that. They're in danger, but
it's not imminent.
it's not, they're not about, we don't think they're going to die today, tomorrow, or in the next 60 days.
They're alive.
They're alive. And
they're not kidnapped.
Yeah, not technically kidnapped, not physically kidnapped
Being held
to our knowledge, right?
Right.
What are you going to do? Because I'm going to say, I'll go first. I'm going to say what I said. I'm going to say what Master P didn't steal from me, but also said. My first thought, and I said it as I was watching it. Well, it's a brick building. Brick, don't burn. But the whole building ain't brick. Why didn't y'all set this shit on fire? I would have started a fire in the back. Everybody got to come out the front, arrest me. My lady takes my kid. I would have started a motherfucking fire. Everybody coming out that building. I'm going to see who in there. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to see who in that fucking building.
About my child.
Yeah, I will go. What needs to be clear to all potential perpetrators, I couldn't care less about going to jail or prison or my child.
Right.
Couldn't care less. Give me the arson charge.
I think
whatever.
you got the right parents though, bro. Because you know why? The same dude that was sitting there with his wife, the ones that took their kid to R. Kelly after
I hate them the most.
This is what I do not understand.
Mom talking gangster. Dad talking gangster. Y'all took the freaking girl to R.Kelly. Your oldest daughter, who you... So it's a couple. It's the dad talking about himself first. I'm a different type of cat. I'll do this, I'll do that. All right.
As you should.
And he's saying, yeah, my daughter wanted to be a singer. She could really sing. We take her to R.Kelly. But no, we had her supervised at all times. It was always one of us. Me, my wife, my son, and my daughter. Well, your daughter lies to you when she gets into a physical tug of war with your daughter in the middle. She's trying to take her. R.Kelly takes her. She lies to you. Your daughter lies to you. R.Kelly lies to you. Weeks, months later, she tells you the truth. You didn't trust her when she told you, when y'all talked the next day, she told you nothing happened. They went out. They flew to freaking Chicago because they didn't trust what their older daughter said about how shit was going down. And then she tells them the same story. R.Kelly says the same story to the daughter who's now in R.Kelly's care or supervision, whatever, Colt says a different story, says this general story, and y'all just believe that shit. Your instinct told you something wasn't right. You took a flight to Chicago from wherever they at. I don't know if it's Atlanta or wherever. Now your daughter's caught in R. Kelly's web. Y'all at the freaking studio years later, and y'all ain't do shit but call the cops. Meanwhile, mom's on an interview. I've been in jail. I ain't afraid to go back. Where was all that?
Where was that energy when he first
Where was all that?
I just don't get it. I don't know what my daughter at.
Listen, man. I can't.
But it's just like...
This shit is honestly giving me a fucking headache, fam. This is
It's
why
a
I
lot.
didn't watch it.
It's a lot.
All of it is...
It's a lot.
You can name the people that could have been blamed without watching this.
Yes.
It's clear you gotta blame parents. Not even just for letting it happen. You didn't put enough in this child for them to say, I am enough. They sold themselves short. You understand what I'm saying? Like you didn't put enough in their fucking minds for this to not even be. Some of them apparently were going back, willingly going back.
Yes.
That's because your parents didn't do their fucking job.
Yep.
And that's it. And everybody was kicking all this, when we was younger, niggas was pulling up to the school.
That's a conversation.
That was still that nigga's still a pedophile thing that didn't make it right. It was more accepted, but it wasn't the fuck right.
Because we definitely had the 20 cents pulling up to our
It wasn't right. It wasn't right. And it was certain girls who thought that shit, it literally made, but it was other women, other girls who felt like, that shit used to make me sick. The thought of it used to make me uncomfortable.
Listen, we watched that shit happen for several years. I even talked to some of my female friends about shit like that. And it wasn't like, their justification used to just be weak to me. It would just be like, why you fucking with this nigga? Cause he guys in my age, they just ain't my level. He got his own crib. It's just like, you gonna be burnt out.
You know what bothers me about the whole he's more mature thing? He's clearly not more mature.
He's
I'm
actually
20-something.
The fact that y'all can communicate in this,
we can have a conversation.
No.
Then clearly I am not mature. That's why I hate talking to kids. It's my job and I love it in that way, but I hate it because I'm like, we really can't have a conversation. It's me trying to pull things out of you.
You literally just you get frustrated talking to children.
I'm like,
if
when
you don't get frustrated talking
to
to children, your shit's not right.
The idea that some guys actually, before when I was 15, 16, I didn't see 100% the wrong in it. I knew it wasn't right, but I wasn't adamant about it. It was more like, y'all niggas cut out, like y'all niggas shout out. But now being a grown man and looking back, like y'all said, trying to have a conversation with a teenager and knowing how the next level of being a predator you have to be in order to go down there and prey on younger women, it's just like, I look at everything and everybody different. Because a lot of guys that I grew up around, even guys that I used to idolize when I was a kid, nigga.
Fucking with teenagers.
Niggas used to ask about this girl I used to deal with when I was in high school and shit. Right after we broke up, right? I stopped fucking with her. Niggas like, yo, would you be mad? Nigga, you like 10 years older than me. How the fuck are you, because you see her going to school every day? Like, that shit is just super weird.
And there's so many things that can go wrong. I remember a girlfriend that I had was dealing with an older guy. We in like 10th, 11th grade. Dealing with an older guy. Little did she know this man was married, and his wife literally just got out of prison for putting somebody in the hospital that was dealing with her husband. You young, you don't know shit about nothing, but you about to get your shit dug in, just fully unaware, and this man's feeding you all types of lies. You think it's cute that y'all go into hotels to do y'all business.
That's what I'm saying.
You're youthful and you're just unaware, and the men preyed on it. They had the room to play on it, and that room came from what your parents didn't do. Swiping?
I don't know. I just know the young girl walking down. I don't give a fuck how good she look. I don't fuck how old she look. Under 18, that's it. There's no excuse for me. There's no reason to do it. If you know, you can't go there.
You want to do full disclosure, right?
Yeah.
It's been many a times that in our youth, we have seen girls who turned out to be 16, 17 that physically look,
yeah.
not even, let's keep it just 100, breast and butt, look like a grown woman.
Hell yeah.
And you like, whoa,
hell yeah.
on her. And one thing that I can advocate for and say that has been consistent among my crew, at some point we asked the age. It's been consistent. Ask the age. Oh, I'm 16, 17. It'd be unanimous. We all like, it's
not working
out.
I'll even just fully disclose some
or
shit.
Or she opened her mouth, and you see the braces now. Grown women got braces now, but before, when we was that age, it was like she had to be a kid and she got braces.
I had a chick toe tagged and bagged. So you remember my last summer of IUP, my last graduate summer. I had to stay up there. The only summer I stayed up there, but the chicks come up early in the cut and whatever shit up Punksy and shit. So we go up Punksy, whatever. Toe tagged and back. I lied to you not. I'm ready. And we have a conversation. She like, yeah, so my birthday. She tell you something about her birthday being in October. And I was just like, I ain't think nothing of it. Then I'm like, how old is you again? She was like 17. I'm like, damn. And I'm like, fuck, I missed this shit. Somebody gonna catch her little ass before I get back and shit. But I was like, you know what? Can't do it. I lied to you not. This little bitch was bad. I'm sorry, I didn't call her bitch. But this little chick was bad. But I had to let it fly.
One of my homies was at that point we would have been maybe 21 or 22. He had just moved to a new city, met this girl. She turned out to be a girl. She was 17. I promise you. She looked like she was like 25, 26. She
looked ready.
She had the mature face. She had a mature articulation in her body. Was a grown woman body. He found out she was 17, and I remember him really having a conundrum. Like, yo, I haven't done nothing with her. I just found out she's 17, but dog, I really like this girl. I was very clear, like, yo, and he listened. Like, when's her birthday? It was like 6 months. I was like, you can't just wait 6 months. Just wait 6 months. She'll be 18. Everything's legal beagle.
Go for it. If
she's still the same person you think you're attracted to, then you have no concerns. He waited 6 months, got together, they was together for years, breaking up later. Okay, that's fine. Why can't we wait?
You know why? Because some niggas people will manipulate themselves into thinking what they're doing isn't wrong, even when they know it's wrong. It's like, people are self-justifying in that way. No, that's it. People are self-justifying.
I'm hyper with it to the point where either of y'all follow, I think her name is India Love on Instagram?
No.
Let me confirm her name real quick. So she's gorgeous girl. Yup, it's India Love on Instagram. Gorgeous girl. 3.8 million followers. So I'm obviously not the only one. At this point, she's probably 19. I was following her. I say she's 19, so it would have been about 2 years ago. And then she had posted one time that she was 17. I was following her based off of lust. This girl got huge breasts. She's very pretty. It was exclusively lust. I'm not following her for her musical career, no shit like that, modeling. It was lust. I unfollowed her. Wound up following her again about maybe even 8 months ago. But it was just uncomfortable for me to be lusting over a 17-year-old girl. And I can't say that I truly understand.
You said she's 19 now?
She's either 19 or 20 now.
Oh.
I can't understand why what the difference between 17 and 18 is in the real sense, but I respect that number for some reason.
I actually feel bad for her, in a sense. Or just for
parents.
No, just for young women, you know, to be that young and to have to leverage your looks in that way. Don't get me wrong, I understand and appreciate beauty and stuff like that, but that lifestyle is it's fleeting. It's like it could be here today and gone tomorrow.
I've seen her before. She was really pretty.
Yeah, she's popular.
She's very pretty. I was just on her page. That's why but I felt bad because, you know, your value is there. And I don't feel like she might be a very smart and intelligent young lady, but I don't think she'll have the chance to get to explore that more, because before she even got a chance to find out what she could possibly be, it was just about how she looked before how she think, and nobody really cares what she thinks or how brilliant she is because of how she looked. And she will never get a full chance to express that depending on what her ambitions are. You know what I mean?
Now.
And I don't want her self-worth to be tied into her body
Physical beauty,
and her physical beauty. I just think it's a hard life.
No, let's put the disclaimer out there. We don't know her.
No, I don't.
I know she's making money, got things going on. I think they had a TV show. All her sisters is making money. I think.
Yes.
Like the Westbrook
yes.
or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
She cute though.
Definitely very,
One of
very
her
pretty
sisters
girl.
was dealing with somebody. But they were all young. That show
They're
was
all
like
young.
years
How'd you
ago.
feel about Tyga and Kylie Jenner? That was my question.
I mean, obviously we don't know if they was having sex, but I assume they was having sex. That was never okay.
I
I'm like
just,
Tyga, no fucking way.
no, it's just like.
Can we take a different spin? I don't want to just keep beating the whole molestation thing. That's the thing. We believe it. We know it to be true. I want to hit two different spins on this. First, I want to ask about the whole harem sex cult thing. If the woman is 20 plus, what is our responsibility as a culture, as a society, if she elected to be in this situation?
I look at it the same as prostitution. It's their business.
I agree.
Yeah,
There's always going to be a market for it, and if they want to exploit themselves in that way, I mean, of course, I disagree. I wouldn't want them to.
But what can you really do? You just get to a point in life where the shit just be like, what can you really do? If they were under a certain age, it's a different conversation.
It's a different feeling.
Once it's a different feeling entirely. But once they get to a certain point, what can you really do? I'm sure they have people that care about them, that know them, that are saying, come on, you know? Like, what the fuck am I going to do about it? I can't do shit about it. I don't think.
A part of me wants to do something about it. Another part of me was like, because I remember when I was exploring and wanted to be a polygamist, question I would get often was, well, what if your daughter wants to do it? And my position remains the same. If that's what my daughter wants to do, that's her choice. I think it's a big difference between polygamy and like a sex cult type of thing.
If she's happy.
Happiness is what's
I don't even
important.
want to think about my daughter in sex, period. But I guess it's reality.
It's gonna happen.
I was about to say, it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
I mean,
Come on, man.
She's gonna get into that part of life.
There's no two ways around it. So my job has been to
What
embrace
you
it.
gonna do? You gonna put a chastity belt on her?
I'm not doing none of that.
Hey, listen,
Because I don't want her to rebel. I remember growing up with the girls
That rebel.
on my block that could not come
That
outside.
was the freaks.
And we was in
They
their house.
turned out to be the freaks.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Bar of soap, gentlemen. Bar of soap. Hey, you hold it. Right out your goddamn hands. It's bar of soap. Look at your children as
That's
a
if
bar
it's
of
wet.
fucking soap.
How to hold it not. Well, yeah. The tighter you hold that bitch, it's gonna squeeze right out.
You know what?
You're gonna leave it deformed if it's not wet. If you're holding it tight, some shit's gonna go wrong.
Listen.
Give it
listen.
some room.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
That's her prerogative. But I'm just saying in general. Yeah, that'd be her business.
Definitely be her business.
I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't agree with it. I see where these people are trying to rescue their children their kids out of this cult. But again,
If my
that
daughter's
cult, there's
18,
one
19,
woman.
20, she's still
They never stop being your
responsibility.
child.
No, never stop being my child, never stop being a parent. When did they stop being your responsibility?
feel like never either.
I don't
I
think it
disagree.
ever.
No, we gonna always meet our parents, guys. As
No,
long as we got them.
difference.
Mhm.
My responsibility. Like, right now, your child is your direct responsibility.
Right.
Food, shelter, love, affection, attention, all the above.
Right.
At what age, or at what point, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a number, but at what point are always love, always affection, attention,
Yeah.
room and board and shelter, food?
Depending.
No.
Of course, we raise
Not
our
me.
children to be self-sufficient. Of course, we want to raise our children to take care of themselves and teach them that and prepare them for that. But if my child needs a shelter, I'm providing that. If
Well,
my
yes.
child needs food, I'm providing that.
I am
don't
not
fuck if they full.
going to really want to have my child on the street, but at
Of course,
40,
no, you put fire under
you're a
their ass.
grown
That, yo,
woman,
get on your
man.
feet and you gonna do what you gotta do. Ain't nothing free in this world.
And
But
I honestly
will
think
never
it
see
depends
my
on the
child
person
homeless
my
or
child
hungry.
is. Like, if my child is a squanderer of things, just a royal fuck up that's been given opportunity after opportunity,
You wanna
I
teach
don't
that
know. We
right
got
lesson.
a different conversation to have. It's not going
Yeah.
to be the same thing that I would do for a child that's trying the world, just ain't they giving them a
It
raw
ain't working
deal.
out, right.
It's a different ball game.
Right.
So I think it has a lot to do with the context of the situation.
No, absolutely, I get that part. I'm just talking just in general terms.
Mhm.
I get it though.
If your child wasn't a fuck up,
If your child's a druggie and just out there just
you
doing
know,
little
you
shit.
got to be
I don't
homeless.
care if you're even a druggie. For me, it's like, I'm always going to love you. I don't know how much attention I'm going to give my 30-year-old kid. Like,
They shouldn't require that much.
you never know.
Yeah, true.
You never know.
I literally will follow my mom around the house to the point that I am unaware of it. But it's just the attachment that I have with her. It's this invisible umbilical cord, her and my father. I will follow them around to the point that at the end of my journey of following them around, just having conversation, just like, what are they doing? What are they into? At the end of it, when they make it to like their bedroom or some place they just want to rest and just be like them without their fucking kids, they'll be like, Shay, it's done now. And it's just, I'll be like, oh, and it'll snap me back like, yeah, I'm an adult.
Get the fuck out.
Remind myself.
I gotta
We got
I'm
things
fucking
to take
30.
care of.
step back, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I just,
Yeah.
and I don't even think about it. And it's not even that I need them to give me attention. I enjoy their energy so much, and I want to be encompassed in it so often. It's like, Shay, you gotta fucking stop. Like, get your own energy somewhere else. Like,
I think.
you fucking
Well, I
parents.
don't know. You know, boys, so fuck. Go to
Yeah,
my
I'm
mom.
not a parental attention.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really. I don't care. Like, don't get me wrong.
But
my
I'm
parents
thinking
are attentive.
my children will be.
Yeah, and I think your daughters might have a different spin on
I think it's
life,
gonna be different.
honestly.
I don't
And I think that with your daughters, you two will have a different vantage point than what you're taking as sons.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll look at it differently. You'll be like, wait,
I'm trying
you're
to
going
give
on a
myself
date? Ugh.
33. Some random ass number. Arbitrary 33. At 33, I'm like, listen, baby, I love you, but got to get the fuck out of here. Like, or you gotta be renting something, because I'm gonna have multiple properties. You gotta rent one.
That's
That's what
literally
he
what
said.
happened with my
Like-
dad. So he had his own properties, but he also had a cutoff for all of it. He was like, in your 25th year, you gotta be out. Also, I think like insurance, like as a child under your parents, is like 26
I think
or
it's
some shit like
26
that.
now.
So his cutoff was in your 25th year, but essentially at 26, because you have your whole 25th year if you don't have it together. That's my cutoff. You gotta figure it out. I don't think he would ever kick us out, but we had that under our ass, and we had that in our minds that we have to do this by this point, because we don't know. My dad's a loose cannon. Like, I don't know if he'll kick me the fuck out for real. So we just had that in our minds, but also my dad had rental properties, and it was just like,
Here.
you can go here.
Right.
All right, you know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
my plan,
Yeah, that's
to
what I
offer
want
them one of my properties, but don't think you're just gonna be lounging in my
Mhm.
shit
Nah, you gonna pay your
or
own bills.
destroying my stuff.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
I of course, yeah, you want to give them that launching pad to where it's like, listen, it's set up for you. Just manage it, and you good. That launching pad is important. I'm definitely not a stickler for kicking your kids right. People are adamant about kicking their kids out at 18 or 20 or 22, depending on whether or not they go to college.
They
I think
talked
that's
about
wrong.
that.
I think that is the worst thing you can do. I mean, I get that you probably like, look, I took care of your ass for 18 years. You on your own, boom, 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 boom.
But you're putting them behind the 8 ball. Honestly, they're not prepared for that shit.
They're not.
Right.
They're
and
not.
That's why I think it's different
deep enough in their
for us.
Yeah, they're not deep
Because
enough in
I
their
know at
career.
18,
Wasn't
college, if I didn't go to college and I had to live on my own without that whole college,
It's a lot you would
because
have
that's
to
still
learn.
a shelter, God
Yeah.
knows what would have happened.
It's too much to learn. Like, it's too, especially out here. Like, come on, bro. And I just, listen, especially for me. No,
But
I
if
don't
you would have
know
been
why,
behind the
but
8 ball,
yeah,
you
who
would have been,
knows?
you know.
it's scary. It's scary to think about that for me because all my friends at that time that I was like home with outside of school didn't make it. You know what I mean? Like, not all of them, but a lot of them. And not saying I was ingratiated in that world, but I was ingratiated in that world. Like, it was part of my lifestyle too. So it's just like, I don't know. And I'm fearful, not fearful, but when I think back on it and just looking back on certain things, that's why I suppress memories, because it just be like, yo, like, this shit that we seen growing up, it's just like, the city was hard living.
Yeah.
I can imagine my parents, if I didn't have my mom to turn on to say, yo, like, or just to provide me a sanctuary to get away from shit.
The interesting thing about it, I was reading something about like parents kicking their kids out, and the article spoke as if it was a racial divide that causes black parents kick their kids out, or they just push them out into the world with no cushion earlier than black parents do. But than white parents do. But in reading it, it was more of a socio-economic status. For whatever reason, people that were lower did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without any cushion. But people that are wealthier have the cushions to say, oh, here's this property, kid, or here's this, or I'm going to get you into my firm, or this is what's going to happen. So they have those things that
that's what I'm saying. You can be out
poor
the way.
people don't have.
If we got the mansion, I might invite y'all to stay. Like, yo, y'all.
Finish the basement. You can stay in the basement.
Like, listen, y'all. Listen, I ain't got no problem. If I, God forbid, my girl kicked me out the crib, like, dog, I need the basement, dog. Just give me a full-time. Nigga, I give you this much. Nigga, I just need it for a month until I get on my feet. Like, that ain't for me.
That's not. I'll do that with my kid, with you, whatever. That's different than if you give me. I think even at 35, if you give me a plan,
Right.
that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I was 26, 27, I spent like 3 months in my parents' house.
Right.
I gave them a plan. Listen, I just need this month, and I'm gonna save this amount of money this month, and that's gonna be my down deposit and security deposit. I'm staying in an apartment. I'm gonna buy a house. You won't see me here again. But wind up lying because when I leave the apartment, I had to stay 2 weeks at their house before I finalized on my house.
Right. But still.
It was a plan. It was 2 weeks, short term, bang, I'm in, I'm out. I'm completely fine with that type of situation. I definitely want to be involved with your transitioning. I definitely want to be involved with your planning. That opens the door for me and you to have conversations about what you're
And I
planning
can
and
help
what
you
you're doing on. Right, I
along
can
the
use
way.
some help, some guidance. That works for me. The indefinite thing, the no plan. Like, remember that one guy, we talked about it, that one guy who was living with his parents and he's suing his parents because they're trying to kick him out. Shit like that. See, I hear these horror stories.
That's like
I'm like, hell no. I'd kick his ass. But,
listen,
you know,
my
whatever.
mom is the dopest because she was. I've realized now, like looking back on it, she was extremely tolerant because we was niggas for real. Like Daryl, me, my brothers, Khalif. That's it. And like my mom is extremely
She was very patient, kind,
tolerant because we didn't always have a
understanding.
bathroom in the basement.
Nope.
And
So that means some random chick had to walk
my mom
upstairs.
never, and she like literally would not call nobody by name. Like she probably knew you, Shay, but she didn't know what you was.
What you was there
I
for.
remember
So she
one
had
time
to choose.
I
She
think
knew
you
she
had
was
a
there
game
for.
night at your house, and I had to use the bathroom.
You don't
and you
know.
walked upstairs, and you was like, "Mom, this is Shay. Nothing going on between us. This is my friend. We've been friends since then." I was like, "All right, like okay."
That's just like the nature because you had to like make sure that the wrong, you don't get the negative connotation. And like, but my mom, like, one thing she never did, all she used to say to me is just don't bring no babies home. Like, we never had the birds and the bees talk. I never had that conversation with my mom.
Did you ever have the birds and bees, the sex stuff?
Sort of, kind of. I had STD talk with my dad, because he used to watch, like, Oprah when Oprah was on, and so this is literally how we had the conversation. He was standing like 2 steps above me. I'm 2 steps down. It was out of nowhere, and he looking up to the sky because he doesn't even want to like visualize it really in his mind and see me. So he's like, "Baby, listen. I just want to make sure you out here being safe. You know what I'm talking about, because I was watching Oprah and they were talking about some things that happened to some women and they thought the man was clean and he wasn't, and I just want you to be safe." Literally never looked at me. I was like, all right, Daddy, like, I don't even understand what's going on. But me and my mom, we didn't even necessarily have to have the talk. But when I was also very open with my parents. When I became sexually active, I told my mom. She knew what was up. She was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the doctor. You're going to get on birth control. Hell no, I'm not telling my dad. I'm pretty sure my mom told my dad, but that ain't going to be a conversation I'm having with my father.
I watched Black Lightning?
No.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shay.
Yeah.
I know y'all watch it.
It's good.
The daughter tells both parents when she's about to be sexually active. They asked her and she complied. And one of the reason why I like the show, it shows it loses some real.
I think it hits on so many
it hits some
things.
real good topics.
It does.
That's on UPN.
It does. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The
CW.
CW, my bad.
No, you
CW.
hit it
We
right
old.
with UPN.
Yeah, UPN.
But when she told him, I think what was good, because I as a parent, I'm sure maybe you too as a parent have that same struggle. Do you want to know or do you not want to know?
I live in this
I think I want to
I
know.
want to know.
I want to know.
But when she tells you,
I just want to know you safe.
how hard is it going to be to play it
It's going to break my fucking heart.
cool, to play it calm, to maintain your composure? Because I can see me having like a whole struggle inside myself, having to walk away and come back, and I don't want to create the uncomfortable space where she doesn't
You want
really
that
want
safe
to come
space.
back.
You want to have
Right.
that safe
Niggas might have to
space.
console me. Like, I might literally
No,
shed a
for
tear.
real. That's what I was getting ready to say.
When
I
it
feel like
happens.
it wouldn't even be a angry emotion. It would be more
Oh, no,
like,
it wouldn't be
I'll
angry.
be,
what,
Say
my
it wouldn't be
baby?
angry.
and just be like, because you're not my baby no more. Like, you my baby, but nah, man.
I wouldn't be angry.
Topic.
I remember I had to talk to my grandfather about being sexually active. It was so
Your
bizarre.
grandfather.
My grandfather is a very inquisitive man. He asks a lot of questions all the time. So I was actually leaving to go to Kutztown. So for whatever reason, I think he just wanted to know that I was still pure, and he learned that I wasn't. So it kind of fucked him up a little bit. Cause he was like, "Cause you're," I don't know what we were talking about. He was like, "Cause you're still a virgin, right?" And I just looked like I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to lie to my grandfather, but I didn't necessarily want to have this conversation. And he was just like, okay, that, you know, that gave me the answer I
the
need.
innocent. Save his heart.
No,
Save his
I
heart.
didn't want to lie
Don't
to
save
him.
my heart.
I
Save
didn't want
my
to
heart.
lie to him.
Don't save my heart.
Shit, man.
Oh, he was so taken aback.
I
I think
don't want
because I was going away to
Like I
college.
said,
and he
niggas
just
might
thought I
have
was
to
gonna have
console
all
me.
these
Like, niggas might literally
experiences.
have to carry me out. Like we just lost the game in the fourth quarter, the playoffs and shit on the road to the championship.
I might cry.
I might have to shed a thug tear.
I might, but also I think that if you
I guess you seen what I was
You
doing
know
to your
what
mama
you-
that night when you was in the crib.
You know what you sow into your children, and you know
After
you
all.
kind of know their minds. You know what I mean. So it might not. It'll worry you. I don't think you guys are going to cry. I think you'll have confidence in them. Hopefully, that's always the hope, that you have confidence in your children.
That we raised them right and we gave them certain values and principles is still the actual. It's like you can be prepared as you want to for it, but when it actually happens, it still hurts. Me and grandparent passed away. You know they're gonna die.
You know they're gonna die
At some point, but
Still
it still
hurts.
hurts when it happens.
Still hurts.
It's just some things you just can never be
Good
prepared
analogy,
for.
bro.
Still hurt.
All right, let's kind of.
So your daughter's having sex is
Whoa.
equivalent
Yeah,
to.
nigga, we was off it. He just.
Sorry, I'm just saying it's
Alright,
equivalent to
that's what I was
your
doing.
grandparents dying.
Yes.
Yeah. the same level of
Emotions.
you knew it was gonna come, but damn.
It still hurt.
God, why couldn't you keep her for a little bit?
For 2 more years.
You know what I'm saying?
I just
Whatever.
need 2 more years.
I mean, I can't. It
So
can't
is
be
this
more.
nigga gonna marry you? Like, what's the plan? No, I ain't that bad.
I'm not
But-
expecting none of that.
So,
I'm a.
I think the older y'all get, y'all just be like, oh God. Like I have a date tomorrow, and I was telling my dad because I wanted to know if he could watch Mickey. He was like, you got a date. Like, still, I'm 31. You got a date. With who?
Yeah.
What's his name?
All pertinent
Such
questions.
and such. Da-da-da. And he was like, I mean, I don't care. I don't want to meet that man. I don't want to meet nobody till they somebody. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I tell my mama.
Say less.
I was like, yeah, I fully understand.
That's actually the role of life.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Don't
what
bring no
chicks.
iffy nigga around here.
I remember chicks used to try to introduce me to their parents, but whoa, we ain't
Never
that serious.
I
We
don't
ain't
love
going
you.
through all that. Cause I don't even want your daddy to see me on the street. Be like, nigga, I ain't seen you around in a while.
Right.
So
You
purpose,
do my
sir.
daughter.
It's a reason for that. You understand, right? Oh, all right. Like,
I'm not gonna understand shit.
that's the dichotomy. And yeah, let's just change the subject. You think about all the
Yeah, let's change
things
the
you've
subject.
done with women and all this shit, and it just gets
What?
hard to
Niggas with daughters.
Let's put a
iceberg son
nice
has 3 daughters.
bow on this surviving R.Kelly.
Oh,
One thing I'm very interested in, and I'm going to be doing research on, this is my word, I want to research how many men
Right.
understand molestation, and then I want to define it for them, and then get a poll of how many black men were molested. I think we're talking over 50%. I think that if we really broke down what molestation is,
then we'll understand it more.
we'll understand it more, and we'll find out that more
Or just
black
as many.
men and boys have been inappropriately touched, full-on raped or molested at some point in their youth, and never processed it, never thought about it, never realized it happened to them, never realized what was happening to them. It felt good, so they thought it was the right thing.
Mhm.
Didn't understand what was going on to them. Because where I understand R. Kelly is, he said in the documentary he was molested and it woke up his hormones too early. And I completely understand that.
My hormones were
I
way early.
completely understand that. And what you wind up doing with that, you know, depends on the person. But I, in a lot of ways, can say that I have paralleled R. Kelly. I've manipulated plenty of women. Hurt people. I was molested for years.
But
Been
it's
fucking since I was 7.
But I don't even think it's tied to that. I think that's just, of course, it's part of it. The manipulation is one thing.
Manipulation for me comes from multiple places.
I know, but
Divorced parents, you learn how to manipulate that.
but manipulation, that could be a form of mental abuse.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another aspect or a level of abuse that he took it to.
No, so I'll graduate to it.
Yeah.
So I understand.
I don't want you to align. I don't want you to align yourself with that. Man.
I'll go. I'm saying, so I understand the hormones waking up too early. I understand being sexually active at such a young age that sex literally becomes a part of your life. Like for some people, sex is an addition. Sex is a bonus. Sex is, hey, hooray, I got some yams or I got some pipe. When you've been having sex since you were in single digits, it becomes almost an expectation. You think something's wrong if you, and this is just not a blanket statement. This is me having a separate thought process about why R. Kelly got to the place that he's in now and paralleling it to my experiences. When you wind up having sex at 7 and 8, by the time you're 14, you still fucking, you're now becoming a perpetrator. Mm-hmm. If I'm honest with myself, I can say I was a perpetrator. I never forced or took. But that girl in middle school, those girls, I can't say that girl, those girls in middle school who I was getting to show me their breasts, let me suck their breasts, let me play with your vagina, let me penetrate your vagina, I'm the first one. I was teaching girls more about their body than they knew about their body. Oh, you're gonna bleed. Here's the blood. Let that go. Next time you won't bleed. We're gonna have sex. I was doing all that type of stuff, and graduate to high school. I'm still fucking. Right? You know the things we was doing, right? Graduate to college. Again, you know the things we was doing. But then even in my 20s, I was working 6 or more women at a time. Was honest. Hey, you're not my girl. I'm fucking other girls. I was so bold as to assign numbers to these women. You're my number 1. You're my number 3. I told them they were a basketball team. You come off the bench. I had never had nobody trapped in the house, but I had 6 women like R.Kelly did. There were rules like R.Kelly. Not the same rules, but there were rules. But you can't come on the day that's not your day. You can't do this. You don't talk to her.
That's managing your life, it sounds like to me, though.
That's pimp shit. And that's the same shit. That's the shit I learned from watching pimp movies.
But they were grown, adult, and consenting women.
Oh yeah, all grown adults, all consenting women. But at the same time, I understand how you graduate. Because what happens is you graduate. You start at this space. Think about porn. Mm-hmm. This is the parallel I like to make. If you think about porn, if you really, really, really watch porn a lot, you start off with softcore maybe, or some hardcore just penetration. Next thing you know, you're watching threesomes. Next thing you know, you're watching orgies. Now you know what a bukkake is. Now you know what this is. Now you know what cuckold is. It just goes and goes and goes.
Goes down.
And you started down here, and at one point you were satisfied with that. 30 seconds you bust a nut.
No.
All of a sudden it takes you 5 minutes. All of a sudden that's not enough.
Yeah.
And you got to go higher and higher and higher.
But that's the thing too, though. My threshold is relatively low because I could see a scene one time like bukkake or some shit, and I'm like, ooh, that's disgusting. I ain't watching that.
Bukkake's not for me.
Yeah, like
I actually learned what a bukkake fest was from Sons of Anarchy. It was one episode, and they were like, they had that like the Asian group of people, and it was like they had the porn company, right? Didn't they like for a time?
Oh, I remember the porn company.
And they had it was a bukkake fest, but it was like actually it wasn't for the porn. It was they just used the porn girls to get these men. It was a whole thing, but yeah, that's how I remember the bukkake fest.
Even if you explore these things, you realize what you're not willing to do or engage in. And they don't. And like I said, there's times where you feel like, yo, I'm wild, like I'm super freak, like I do anything with my lady, and then you see some super freaky shit, and you're like, oh, well, maybe not for me. I'm relatively conservative, actually, after all. So I think it's just like, you don't just stay steady. But I think there's just levels to it, of course. Mm-hmm. There's levels to everything. But I think with an abuser of women in that fashion and the way that he does it, maybe it's money, power, and pimp culture and shit like that that he associates with, but he still has an illness behind it.
No, all facts.
Yeah, that's just like,
I'm not aligning myself with him. I'm just challenging people to. R.Kelly is what your son could be.
Right.
Maybe to a lesser degree, maybe less power, influence, properties to take these women to. 5 bedrooms, can't do it. You don't got the cash. I'm saying I was doing something not similar, but could have graduated to out of an apartment. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that we need to start paying attention to our boys with the same intensity that we pay attention to our girls.
Our girls, right.
Because our boys are being touched inappropriately by family. Think about it like this. The little girl who was perked on by the uncle or the aunts is now perking on the younger cousin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That happens. That's a real thing. And we ignore, I know because I'm in the field. I'm going to be just honest. We ignore our boys so much with the sexual health piece that they become the perpetrators.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We
and
gotta
it's
cut
not
it
even
off.
that you just ignore it. You almost make the boy feel like if he says something like,
It's
fuck is wrong with
it's
you?
A problem.
Right. Like, but you ain't like it?
You're supposed
Why
to
was
like
I supposed to enjoy that?
And
it's a lot that goes into it. And it's a lot we need to discuss. discuss.
Can I ask? All right, so can I ask? Can I harken us back to separating the artist from the genius? Because I just want to push this conversation further. I mean, the genius. I mean, whatever. What is it?
The artist from the art.
Yeah, the artist from the art.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's the very one who created it, all that shit. But are we really judging people that still like to step in? Now, people that go to his concerts, buy his tickets, women that still date him and court him.
His streams spike, dog.
No,
his streams
that's not surprising. Because certain people that
bizarre to me.
watch that documentary, they might be of the newer millennial ilk that weren't really all the way up on what R.Kelly's impact was and had to go back and listen to the music.
Yeah.
So I can attribute some of that to curiosity.
Yeah.
What I will give a nod to is that, you know, there are people that just enjoy his music but don't really like him as a person. And that's like that with me for everybody. Like, my favorite boxer is Floyd Mayweather. I don't like him as a person. Some of your favorite rappers, some of your favorite, you would not like them as people. Some people are really nasty. Some people are really mean when you come into contact. Bill Cosby's another great example of that. But he had an amazing show. R.Kelly has amazing music, of course. Like, I don't want for it to be a judging fest when Step in the Name of Love come on and you're not gonna get up there and start two-stepping.
I'm
shit.
judging
Everybody
if
like,
the DJ played it.
You're all wrong for dancing to this song.
I'm
And
judging
people getting self-righteous.
you. Why the fuck you
At the
spinning
family
this
function.
record?
Dog, we
What we gonna
played like classic R&B on the Alexa, the Amazon joint. Fucking R. Kelly came on. This was Saturday.
Everybody
was like, "Whoa, Alexa, stop! Alexa, stop!" Like we were so like, get it the fuck out of here. I don't want it. No.
Alright, so
That's where I'm at.
because it feel like, listen, I will tell you personally, pork bacon is amazing. Like, delicious.
Okay.
This is my
Where you
list.
going with this?
Yeah.
I would never put pork bacon in my mouth again now. Like, it's just not my thing. But I did once enjoy it. So I get the fact of letting things you enjoy go. But I don't feel bad that I really enjoy pork bacon.
I can't
The
make that.
flavor of
I
pork
think there's a
bacon.
false equivalent. Pork
It's
bacon is
false.
delicious. I
But
don't
you see
eat
what I'm
it.
saying?
I won't eat it.
I know it's bad for me. I
It's
know I shouldn't eat
definitely
it.
bad for you. Very
But
high
I
sodium.
wouldn't eat it. But it's fucking delicious. We all
Sure,
agree.
this is very delicious. Especially if you got
I
the
mean-
fat bubbles on it.
There you
Oh
go.
my goodness.
I
just
get
want-
you.
I just want-
No, I
Keep
definitely
going.
understand. I understand. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
I don't want to feel bad that I like his fucking music. Like, that shit is boggling for me because it's just like, yes. And it's just this new outrage for me is just frustrating to watch. Because I lied to you not. After we saw that video, me and my homies done went and made remixes of his songs. We done clowned this nigga for years. We been saying fuck that nigga, he a rapist. He make good music, then he rapes little girls. Fuck that nigga. And after that shit happened and it boiled over, and this is why I'm mad at the justice system for not giving those girls justice, because before we felt them, they felt them. And I mean, as much as we felt, you know, those girls, because putting a face to the victims is different. When you hear those girls' stories, it touches you emotionally, and you like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? That part,
That's why it was good.
that part was where the documentary connected for me. But outside of that, it's just like, all right, when money can buy people out of these situations, when we allow this shit to walk and then turn around, there's women still dating him, not just little girls, but grown women that are fully aware of this, still enabling that. You're enabling that behavior even more than a fuck stream. There are people hands on in this shit and continuing his process of abuse. So it's just like, cancel culture can work. We can stop listening to his music. We can stop streaming it. We can stop doing all that shit. Fuck R. Kelly, ban R. Kelly. There are still people that are going to show up to his shows. There are still women that are going to sleep with that man. And what can we do to combat that?
I don't think it's
No,
anything.
lock his ass up. Locking his ass up, then it's different.
Right.
But his path of abuse will not end
Well,
by
there's
us boycotting
investigations
his music.
happening.
But
Well,
hope
that's
that
any bill for you, Shay? You ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm ready. Fuck
I'm
R.
ready to
Kelly.
move on.
That's my bow.
don't fuck R. Kelly.
Do not fuck R. Kelly. That's the real bow.
He do got the herp apparently. Be careful.
grandma.
And he might fuck you up and lock you in the bedroom and have you pissing in the bucket.
And
you know,
pee and poop on you. Nobody want that.
Drip, drip, drip.
but the peeing shows you the escalation. I'm sure he wasn't peeing on people at
For a long
16,
time.
17,
Of course
18,
not.
early 20s.
Mhm.
You evolve into this type of thing.
And he doesn't like that people are clowning him. Like, people like think that making jokes about it is wrong. I know the victims are hurt and affected by it, but the fact is, he is too. I really
So,
feel that way.
That's I have to agree with that. Based off what's come out recently, it does seem like he's affected by those type of
A
things.
lot.
But the reason why I can't make jokes about it, and you're right, I have made jokes about it before. I've probably laughed at jokes about it before. The reason why I can't now is because watching that documentary, like you said, put a face to it. And once the face was assigned to it, and real emotional connection became true for me, and I don't know if it was, I was listening to another interview before it was in a documentary, but one of the women was talking about how she sees these things, and it
affects her.
re-traumatizes
Yeah,
her.
it affects her.
That was
And I
one of the
understand
first
that.
things I
That
saw.
was the
It
girl
was
that
the jokes, all the keys about it, all the funny things, and I don't like that culture with us now anyway. Social media makes everything a
Everything
fucking
can't
joke,
be a
and
joke.
everything can't be a joke. Like, I don't understand a parent of a girl that goes on social media and jokes about this shit. Like, but it couldn't be you because it's not you. It would be your daughter.
Right.
I don't understand that. I just don't understand the narrative.
Definitely it could be me. It could be any of us.
It could be
We can
anybody.
do the best we can to raise our daughters, but life experiences outside of
It
our
happens.
supervision, all that matters just as much as what we have
Like,
ingrained and instilled in them.
It's really,
And it
I've
could be that
experienced shit that...
charismatic person that swoops them off their feet.
Exactly.
And I could have taken my daughter to Tiffany's, to all the nicest places, bought all the nicest thing, did my best to make sure nothing a guy ever does impresses her. But who knows?
Yep.
Mhm.
I've experienced shit that my dad wouldn't understand. Like, he just wouldn't understand how it could happen. Because I did everything. We were both there as parents. We did everything we could to make sure you had a sound mind. But I still experienced shit that in the moment, I knew it wasn't something that was for me. But I still, you know what I'm saying? I still got into it.
Let's
Whatever.
see,
But
maybe.
it could be anybody. It could be anybody. It could be your child. So think about that before you make something a laughing fucking matter. Think about the person whose child it is. Think about the child who it is.
Mhm.
Everything ain't fucking funny.
Look how we about to make this spin, because I don't want to keep. I'm starting.
I know we could literally. Yeah.
We can go on for days.
Come on,
I have
come
never
on.
mind. I have like a similar, like a family similar situation with one of my family members, and I think she prefers abusive relationships. That to this effect. So way back in the day, she had a good man. It's like an iceberg slim situation.
Mm.
So she had a good man, right? And she left him for a nigga that wasn't shit. Of course, start beating her ass. Family finds out about it. Of course, nobody's gonna let that happen to you. Like, you out your fucking mind. Go check the nigga. She goes back to him. Cool. She ultimately leaves that situation. Has kids out of the situation, but she leaves that situation. Whatever. Going to another situation. Again, another nigga beating her ass. You know, knocked her teeth out, all types of shit. Niggas go check him. Whatever happens, she end up going back to this nigga. So you have a pattern in your ass where people come stick up for you. You leave for like a week, but then ultimately you go back. Years go by. She comes back around because we don't see her for periods like when she's away.
Mhm.
Of course, this isolation thing. Years go by. She comes back around with another nigga that's we know, but we don't really know like that. But we know him like he's associated with other people in our family. Anyway, so he comes around. You know, they parading her, they talking. He coming down to the family functions and shit. Like, but you can see the signs of abuse, of the way he talked to her at times like that. So of course, not around us. You not. Niggas start checking him. Oh no, ain't nothing like that. Lo and behold, it turns out like that. She confides in somebody like, all right, listen, I'm gonna get you out of the situation, you know, put you up somewhere, you know what I mean, remove you, whatever, what have you. This bitch, when people trying to help her,
As I said, you wash your hand of it. It's
goes back to the nigga, tells him everything everybody's trying to do to help her, gets mad at the people that's trying to help her, like flip the whole situation around, It's just like, yes, at a certain point you have to wash your hands with a motherfucker that's complicit in their abuse. And to what effect can you help a fucking adult that subjects themselves?
People get comfortable in situations, regardless of what the situation is. It's a familiarity with it that they would prefer that over other things. She was comfortable in these abusive spaces. She was comfortable in it. So to move into something else, she wouldn't even know how to function because it's outside the system that she operates in. She's comfortable there. And it's like really, it's nothing you can do, and you try, and you got to wash your hands at some point, because 9 times out of 10 you're causing yourself more stress and more frustration than it's worth to them. So why do it?
And this time, and this last time here, I said, don't talk to me about it. I don't care. Like, I'm out of my business. Like,
You want to shut the fuck up? I don't wanna hear it.
yeah, I really, literally, like, she tried to talk to me about it. Be like, oh, I don't want to hear that shit. You'll be back. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yeah, abuse.
Topic switch.
Yes, please.
Hit it.
Where was we at?
what
Y'all
was
got any
it?
takes on the government shutdown? Longest one in history at this point?
Is it really over the wall?
Yes, Donald Trump has made it very clear if he don't get his billions for the wall, he's not signing any money. What's it called? He's not signing any bills that have to do with money to finance government. Well, the partial government that's currently shut down, which is Homeland Security. It's just such an oxymoron. It's not even oxymoron. It's just such hypocritical. I want this wall to protect us, but
Homeland
currently
Security
the
shut
shutdown is affecting the people that protect us. FBI not getting paid.
TSA
Not getting paid. Homeland Security not getting paid. Border Security is not getting paid. IRS is not getting paid. Like, all the people that you're talking about are to protect us, that you
are not getting paid.
They're not
So you're
paid. And then you go to Texas, talk to the people about the wall, the people you say want the wall, and the one woman tells you they're already tunneling under the walls we have now. They stopped using this one, they got another one over here, we know about them. They're tunneling under.
Wait, here's something. I want to take it
Don't
back
we know
to...
that Mexicans
We
are
know they
moles?
tunnel, dog.
We know.
I'm not trying to be stereotypical.
So it was this meme that
No.
said, it was like a picture of America,
disrespect to the
Mexico,
Yeah, no,
Canada,
yeah.
and there's it was like, this is the wall. This is everywhere the fuck else they can get in. Like,
Yeah, I saw
what are
that.
we really doing, fam?
What about
let's
my
go over. Like, what are we talking about here?
What about the port of Miami? I forgot about that. Where the Cubans came in at?
So
But we weren't supposed to fund the wall. We were not supposed to fund the
Wasn't
wall.
the Mexicans paying for the wall?
That was his original
Mexicans
thing.
are going to pay.
Didn't
for
the Mexican
wall.
president climb up on the wall and sit there?
He sat on the wall because there's already wall.
What happened?
He just went
You
long.
got the cord so fucking short
Pull it.
based on what the laptop is. Every time y'all pull my shit, it falls.
Apologies.
And I'm getting annoyed. Yeah, they've already had one of the Mexican presidents climb on the wall. You show me a 10-foot wall, I'll show you a 11-foot ladder. I mean,
Like, I just don't even understand why we still on this shit. This is a power trip at this point, fam. It can't be anything else. Like, it can't be. There is.
it's a power trip, but more than a power trip, it's strategic. If Donald Trump doesn't deliver on this wall, how can he get elected again? Because that was his chief. Build that wall.
Mm-hmm.
He had people chanting that shit. Who's gonna pay for it? Mexico.
But the Mexicans ain't paying for it.
Now, but
There's a deal,
but
though.
remember, his people are not. And now I'm stereotyping, and I'm broadly speaking, but in general, his supporter, his base, are not second level, third level thinkers.
Absolutely not.
So if he now says, "Well, we're going to get the money back based off the
This
new
trade
deal,"
barter that we.
then the follow-up question is, "Well, sir, if I'm paying for it out of my taxes, is that to say you're going to reimburse my tax money that?"
Or is that just going to be filtered back
it's
into America
into the
somehow?
American economy. That don't come in my pocket. I need my money back.
Right.
If you're saying they're going to basically reimburse me, pay us back, then I want my money back, not America to have the
They
money
can't
back.
even give a straight answer of how this trade deal is actually going to filter the money back in. Like, it literally is baffling at this point that this is still a fucking conversation. I really,
Yeah, I don't understand it at all.
I don't get it.
I don't understand what the whole fucking point of the wall is. Like, I mean, I know the goal it is.
The wall.
Make America great again.
Here's what we have to
I know the
remember
goal
about Donald Trump and what he played into to get elected.
Mm-hmm.
What his base really believes in. It's about feelings. The wall makes me feel safe. You can tell me that they're tunneling under the wall, climbing over the wall, going around the wall.
Right.
Most terrorists are coming in through legal ports of entry, such as airports and boats. Most drugs are coming in through legal ports of entry, such as airplanes and boats. But the wall makes me feel safe.
It's bizarre.
It's all about the feeling, and Donald Trump does such a great job at playing towards just your
you know what
feeling.
D.L. Hughley said that was perfect? He said that Barack Obama is who we aspire to be. Donald Trump is who America is. Like,
That sounds true to me.
that hit the nail on the head just as a whole, not really individually, but that hit the nail on the head. I think Donald Trump has watered down what we all pretty much thought was the sophisticated side of government or politics, period, for me. He has made it seem elementary.
He's made it feel like anybody can be president, and I think that is not a good precedent.
Nope.
I would love kids to aspire to be all these high things, but at the same time, I want things to be just out of reach for most. Like, you really want it, you really gotta go get it. You really gotta earn it, you gotta have a resume. When Donald Trump becomes president, it's kind of like, you just gotta make some people like you and talk about what you feel and
I know what other people want to feel.
Yeah, find out what other people
It's
are
like
feeling.
just saying what people
And
think,
play to
but
that.
don't say.
Because this whole thing has been about feelings. The wall is 100% about feeling safe.
is.
What we have learned now is that there are spots with wall, with gate, with
That
coverage
they getting around.
that they go around, that they saw, that they cut through, that they go under, that they go over, or go through the water. Can't put a wall through a river.
These niggas is
Can't put a wall through the desert. Like,
These niggas
certain
tunnel
places
out
you
of
can't
prison.
put a wall.
Like, they tunnel out of everything.
Their top guys are tunneling out of prison. They got dirt bikes in the tunnel.
They
You
got
seen
whole
that?
fucking dirt bikes in the tunnel.
It's a thing, like.
These niggas got nothing but time, and their drugs
And
are
that's
still
the
gonna
thing.
get
They
into
got
the
nothing
country.
but time, and they have the resources in the numbers.
Because who's doing the tunneling?
They got the resources
drug-
in the numbers.
Right. The drug dealers are still the cartels are making it happen.
If I run a cartel and I have, say, even $1 billion at my disposal, and I say to a person who's bringing home $100 a month or a week, I'll give you 20 G's.
Right.
To dudes that don't worry about what it is because we run in the government anyway, so you don't gotta worry about that. Why wouldn't I fucking dig this tunnel?
Right.
So they got the money, they got the resources. The government shutdown is all about power. I have a problem with both parties because the Democrats could be smarter. Here's a question for you. Democrats have Nancy Pelosi, the House Majority Leader, has said that the wall is immoral. And this is what messes it up for me. Because it makes me want to agree with the Republicans. How is a wall immoral? How is a gate immoral?
I think it's the date and time where that touchy-feely shit, right? Where we're making everything about, people's feelings and about just the emotional side of things, and not really using our rationale when coming into addressing these issues. So yeah, her calling it immoral, I don't really subscribe to that feeling because I don't feel it's immoral. I just feel it don't make fucking sense.
Don't make
to
sense
build around.
financially.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't make sense
logistically.
So it has nothing to do with how I feel or how it makes people feel about a fucking wall being there. I don't think the Mexicans are looking at that wall like this is a human rights issue. I don't
agree.
know.
But what American government tells us is that more Mexicans are actually leaving than coming. Again, with the drugs coming in through legal ports of entry for the most part, with terrorists coming in for legal ports of entry for the most part, with the vast majority of the illegal immigrants simply being visa overstays. We know where the problems are. The wall is all about feelings.
It's all about feelings.
Wow.
I agree.
Like this wall is going to make America safe. How?
Who's
committing terrorism?
The wall makes sense if we are at war with Mexico. Are we afraid that Mexico is going to invade us? And the wall stops and we shoot over the wall like a castle type of thing. It just doesn't really make sense. In any type of way, I try to spin it in my mind. Now, certain spots, I'm sure it may make sense logistically. A low volume spot, put a wall there, put a gate there, with some drones or some shit. I don't freaking know. Let me not act like I'm an architecture or study this stuff.
If we were bordering Afghanistan, I would agree.
Sure. Syria.
Syria. I would agree
like,
with the
this
motherfucking wall.
It's not.
This is not the
I mean,
Alamo.
with y'all.
What's that shit
Wall.
called? That was the Alamo.
Uh-huh.
What was that in the 1800s?
Oh, you don't ask me a year. But I know, remember the Alamo.
This is not those times anymore. Like that shit is over. Like there's no I don't see no need for it. But I'm just looking at it like it's fucked up that they are playing with people's livelihood.
Because
this
when you
political
talk about
game.
800,000 workers, we got to stop. Media has to stop saying 800,000 workers or 800,000 people. You got to really say 800,000 families.
Because that's what it is.
That's what it is.
And
that's the part that boggles me.
That triples at least triples your number.
Didn't he say at one point, what I was watching, but he said at some conference that the people that are without pay understand that it's for the greater good.
None of them
that's
have,
what he said.
most,
That's exactly
none
what
of
he
them
said.
have come out and said that.
Nobody.
I've
Not a motherfucker has. Like, not one.
I've seen
Nobody
multiple
agrees
people
with
say,
you.
I voted for Trump. I like most of what he's done, but I can't really get around this. I can't support this. I don't like this because now it's fucking your shit up.
Yep.
Right.
And that's how it goes.
Now you see why he was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Oh.
They came for the such and
We
such.
need
I
the
said
wall.
nothing.
$5.6 billion.
To build this wall.
What? Like,
Who's getting that contract?
Oh, who got it?
do y'all know what our budget
Need to
can
ask-
do
we should
with
ask
that
that
money?
question.
5.6.
We should
Imagine
ask-
if you put that
we-
in the Department of Education.
We should ask who's getting that contract, though. I think
Well,
we
you
should
gotta
really should.
get the money first before you can get
No,
the
we should really see the money. You gotta
What's
follow
his
the
thought
Well,
money.
yeah,
process?
who would
Follow
these-
the money.
It was. He had like I think it was you can call it a competition or whatever. People submitted their
Bids
designs and
to me.
bids.
We gotta see who's funding these companies, who the owners are, all that shit. Just saying, whether or not they're Trump supporters or not, and shit like that. Oh,
This shit is dumb. Like, come on, fam. Let's stop with the government shutdown. Like, you a clown for this. And that's just what it is.
I just know people personally that's being affected by it, so it's just like, yo. Like, usually when the government do some shit, it's not really...
The fucked
But
up
you-
part is people still gotta report to work.
Yes.
Like, if they gotta report to work
And
and,
do
not
their
get
job.
paid,
And do
and
their
with,
job.
with
Shit.
diligence,
Yeah.
Shay, you have been.
bruh.
I don't know if you
Not
currently
me.
are, but you have been essential. What's the word I'm looking for? Urgent staff, essential staff.
I am essential staff
Right.
currently, still.
And so
Yeah.
your essential staff is mostly essential staff that's coming. If you're essential staff, but your agency, your company is funded by the government, you're not getting paid, but you're essential staff and you working with these kids. You going to save these babies, Shay? For free? But I'll pay you at some point.
Nah, not every
Possibly.
day. I mean, I might some days, but no. Like, it ain't, when I wake up, I'm not going to be thinking, gotta get to work. I love my job.
You know what?
I love what I do, but you paying me for what the fuck I do. My job's not easy.
You know,
You got me fucked up.
At this juncture, it boils down to this for me. If I get paid, right, to do a job, if I'm not doing my job, I get fired. I don't get paid, so I don't get fired. I mean, you know, whatever. I do my job, so I don't get fired. Whatever. You pay me so that I don't quit. So that I'll do my job and not quit. If you're not paying me, how do you expect for me to do my job?
What would motivate me? I have been on plenty of panels about workplace morale. The one consistent thing, I don't care what field you're in, the one consistent answer that you get from workers to improve morale, money. So I'm going to flip that script. The one thing you can fuck up to destroy morale is fuck with somebody's money.
Right. So you start fucking with a motherfucking money, they put shit in perspective.
Get real clear.
Real
Shit
quick.
gets real clear.
Real quick.
They put shit in perspective.
All this time I've been sacrificing time with my family, my loved ones, sacrificing this, sacrificing that for this job, to maintain this job, to
And
feed
you're
my
not
family.
paying.
Now I can't fucking feed my family. I'm driving an Uber to pay my freaking car note. F that B.
Nah.
F that.
That's what this government shutdown has led to. I don't know, man.
I don't report to work like that.
Essential staff. Your food's not being inspected. FDA sucks.
I don't think nobody.
That's my
really
position. The
doing that.
FDA sucks. But for
I
what they
agree.
do, they ain't doing it right now.
Hell no.
You get your tax return, your W-2? I haven't. Won't be. I think they said 10 to 12% of the IRS is working.
10 to 12%. Wow.
Now you still paying your taxes. I get paid on Thursday. I bet you my fucking shit gonna be out. You're gonna
Oh,
have
hell
my
yeah.
shit's taxed.
Oh, without a doubt. No doubt about it.
I can't get my goddamn W-2.
No doubt about it. You still getting taxed though.
Still
Government
getting
ain't-
taxed though.
Government shut down, but we ain't shut down.
You see, we still pulling that money in.
I
It's
just
like,
don't want my cash,
We
bitch.
still need that money for that wall just in case we
Damn.
build the motherfucker. We allocate the
these
funds.
government
In
shutdowns
what
are
other
baffling
area
to
of
me.
life could that possibly work? Hey, you're gonna do this for me. I've been paying you to do it, but I'm not gonna pay you this time. I'm not gonna pay you next time. I'm gonna have you. You're gonna keep doing this for me, and I may pay you, may not. We haven't really made a decision on that. I might, so you have to just, whatever about that. Figure it out for yourself.
You know,
Yeah, you got bills. Here, I'm gonna draft a letter for you to provide to your
You know these,
billers to tell them that what they already know. You're not getting paid, and give you an extension. Use your credit cards. Take out a loan.
how many people?
It's some inhumane shit, cattle type shit.
Are we
Like,
not
we
thinking
are
about the interest
cattle.
that accrues? If I take out a loan, I have to pay more back.
How many people that are part of the government are paying lip service? Is that gas leaking?
Yeah, you smell that stuff?
Yeah, I
That's
was about
not
to ask
gas
you if you
leaking.
farted first, but
No, you would have heard me on this ball.
money. Got
Crisp
the motherfucking
clean.
Platinum bottle up for Bruce.
Woo! Fancy.
Shit, put some diamonds in that bitch. Oh,
You see?
huh?
Replacement, bitch.
How do we feel about modern day slavery?
That's a. Can we say that?
Hell of a tangent.
Yeah,
can we
whoa,
say
whoa,
that?
whoa, whoa,
Say
whoa.
before the
We
vote. Can
already
we say that?
hour and
No,
45
I was
minutes
just
in.
going to ask about that because I was thinking about all the stuff that we consume on a regular basis that is made by slaves. What do we think about
Okay,
that?
I don't want to talk about it
I
until next
don't-
week.
Yeah, come on.
All right,
Say that
all right,
next
save it for next week. All right, cool. Let's
Point.
go. All right, sorry. Well, y'all, you, whoever is watching. It's just Daryl. All right, cool. We see. Let's get back to it.
So if I close it, it ain't just me.
Hey, look at that.
Alright, yeah, this is my topic.
Yes.
So, what are your 5 essentials to a healthy relationship?
I was so upset I didn't have enough time. I was like, but I saw it at 5:55, and I was like, God damn it! All right,
I wanted to
I
write
have
mine
some
down,
things
but I
though.
don't have it.
So, number 1 is communication. We need to be able to fucking communicate properly. Honest communication, not just saying shit to have shit being said.
We're gonna have some of the same stuff, so we should start
Yeah.
write that shit down, Daryl, so we can cancel out what people have.
Alright.
Communication is 1. The next one is I need to have confidence in you. And I need you to have confidence in me because I feel like if we don't have confidence in each other, we'll start doing shit, stepping on each other's toes, resentments will grow. And I say this having experienced it in a previous relationship. And it wasn't that I didn't necessarily have confidence in the person, but I'm just a get it done type of person. If I feel like you're dragging your feet on something, then I'm going to do it. That doesn't mean I don't think you were going to do it. I just didn't think you were doing it fast enough. But that built resentment
From him or you?
from him towards you because it's like, oh, you don't think I know how to do shit and get it done. Blah, blah, blah. So That is what.
Why you gonna mock his voice? Like, you just couldn't say that.
Regular, I couldn't just say it normal. No. So, confidence in my partner is important, not good. I need to be attracted to you. Like, I fucking gotta. It's important. Like, physically, mentally, all the attractions. I need to have them all at some point. Do they all necessarily need to be there at once? Nah, fam. But in the beginning, probably. But I need to be attracted to you. Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, I need to be attracted to you. Sex is important. We have to be compatible sexually. If you're in the shit that I'm not into, or I'm in the shit that you're not into, again, resentments will be built. Walls might be put up. Walls might be, demolished, and not by you. And that's just a part of it. I don't know what the fifth one is, though. I don't know what the fifth one is.
Follow-up question. If they mark 4 check boxes and not 1, or 3 and not 2, how willing are you to compromise on those 5 slots not being full?
I think I need 80%, so you're going to have to hit 4 of the 5.
We can build on.
Yeah.
Work on stuff.
80-20 rule.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm going to need 80%.
And what are you willing to compromise on or work
Well,
with
I only
somebody
said 4, so right now I can't compromise on anything.
Help me. Help this situation conversation progress.
I can't compromise on anything right now.
What are you willing to work with somebody on? I mean, obviously attractive.
Oh, you know what?
is
As a
it is.
parent, our parenting styles, while they might not. No, this is what I was thinking. We need to know our roles in this relationship. I feel like you need to know who you are, what your purpose is here, and I need to know what my purpose is here. Because if we don't know that, if we just going at this thing half-cocked, not even fully understanding who we are, how we fit into the pocket of things, I feel like it's not going to work. This is my 5.
Got you.
So what was that? The
We
last
need to
one?
know our roles in the relationship and what our purposes
your
are.
role.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your
I mean, really.
Rudy Poo ass.
Yeah, I remember that shit,
Good
right?
one. I can roll with those.
Alright, you on, Ray?
My 5. See, that's why I needed to write these down because I didn't want to regurgitate. I knew we would probably hit some of the same shit. So attractiveness, yes, I have to be attracted to you, and I think we need to talk about this because people do this from time to time. I think once you get in a relationship, you fall off, and that you don't have to, be presentable and you can walk
we
around.
talked about this in length one time.
I don't think we should let ourselves go. So to continue to build upon attractiveness and make that an everyday thing, not a when I met you thing. Let's not do that. Secondly, would definitely have to be honesty. Third, gotta be secure with yourself. I cannot deal with somebody that's insecure. Cannot deal with somebody that are unsure of themselves and need to be made to feel comfortable about themselves and everything that you do and all that weird shit. It's not my cup of tea. Did I say honesty already?
Yeah.
I can't stand a lying asshole. Let's just be fraud. And respectful, excuse me.
1950 shit.
No, respectful. You gotta be respectful. You gotta respect the people around you. I will observe that. Then respect me. I'm sorry, it just says a lot about somebody. Anybody that I see being disrespectful in any way, it's a no-go. It's a done bun. Not gonna work. And fifth. I just want somebody that has fucking sense. Like, if you don't have to be a PhD scholar, but if I can't hold a conversation with you, if you're an idiot, you're in the first world shit, you're not really concerned about shit that actually matters to the world, as far as shit that's important, if you're just very surface level, like I said, and think about the smaller and minor shit in life, and you like to talk about it and harbor on that shit, just won't work. So I think that's my 5 simple shit to fill, ladies. You know, I'm not on the market anyway, but you know, if y'all needed to know, it may help you in your next endeavor.
So my 5 start with my 3 L's trademark. Don't try to steal my shit. Three L's.
I will really try.
It's trademarked. I'm not lying.
What, like love and lust? What you gonna write?
Is it really trademarked?
It's gonna be a
3
solo
L's
book.
is a successful relationship. Like, love, and lust.
Is it really trademarked?
Yes,
though?
Shay, you really want to steal my shit. Don't try to write a book or an essay. Or
I
Are
can't
you
because I
writing the
don't
book?
feel like it's trademarked.
You writing the book?
I'm gonna put the trademark thing on the social media. So
Put the
everybody knows
motherfucking
what
draft up.
So, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, I think that like has to be very much at the foundation of a relationship. I think that like is enduring. If we get to a point where I don't like you anymore, then things must have went very wrong. Maybe I'm not, now I have to question if I really ever liked you in the first place if I don't like you, because I don't understand how I could stop liking a person. If I like you, I liked you. Unless you changed, and I have an issue with the word change with people. So unless you really, really, really changed, I should like you. Lust. I fully and truly believe that lust can heal. Lust, in the absence of a like in a moment, right now I don't like you. I can still lust after you. Now, I say that as a man. I know that's not always true for a woman because it's very much intertwined. And it's not always true for a man. I can not like you right now, and trust me, I don't want to have sex with you right now. But it can be many situations where I don't like you, I don't fuck with you right now, but you know the things that turn me on, and you got me lusting after you right now. And that lust can heal that moment of not like. And then lastly is, and I put it in this order, is love. I think love is not a strong foundational piece. I think love can go, and that's where like keeps you. I think that love can go, and that's where lust can heal. I think that love, I can love you today and still love you tomorrow, but not be in love with you tomorrow. In this moment right now, I'm not loving you. I love you, but I'm not in love with you right now. I'm not in love with what you're doing, how you're moving, what you're thinking, what you're saying. I'm not in love with you right now. And I think love is so fragile. I don't think like is as fragile, and I don't think lust is as fragile.
Can I add loyalty to your L's?
You can add loyalty to your L's and trademark the 4 L's. But I think
what, to be
think,
petty, I just might. I just might take your shit and add an L and call it the 4 L's.
I think loyalty is
3 is such a whole number. I don't
right.
feel like
3
4
is my number.
It's a divine number.
Yeah.
I think that loyalty is subjective. For me, what loyalty is going to be similar to you, but if we brought in a 5th person, I don't know that 5th person is going to have the same exact concepts of what loyalty are. So I don't put loyalty in that. I think it's too subjective. I think too easily.
Love is subjective.
I agree.
I feel like
I think lust
I
is
pretty
subjective.
much think the
I
entire
don't
world
think
is
love
subjective.
lust is subjective. You lust.
Lust isn't subjective. I
Lust
agree.
is-
We
Certain
know
things.
subjective in that we don't lust in all the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, lust is lust. For you,
Yeah.
lust is you know.
Yeah, lust is lust. Is what we
Yeah.
lust after that might be subjective.
Loyalty.
My 4th is I gotta agree with Shay. Communication has to be at the foundation of our relationship. If we can't talk, we have nothing. We have nothing. How can I like you if we can't talk? How can I, honestly for me, there's a very clear correlation between lust and communication. If I can't talk to you, I can't really lust after you in that way. It can definitely be an initial lust, but lust can be fleeting.
Yep.
That is.
I don't lust after you anymore. You were super sexy, lust, and then now I talk to you and
You're not so
You're not
sexy.
sexy.
Can I hear some
It's
another line that I heard when I was a young boy that was like, I don't know if it's quasi pimp shit, but pimp shit. That for every chick that you think is the baddest bitch in the world, there's another nigga somewhere that's tired of that whore.
Yeah.
There's a nigga somewhere that's tired of that
We
whore.
don't gotta call her a whore.
But
yeah.
no, that's why I said it was quasi pimp shit. But it just put shit in perspective for me.
But then off of communication, see, all my stuff correlates, combines. It has to be together. I can't have it separate. With communication, I'll have a separate number, but it's together. Compromise.
Mm.
I can't have my father's compromise. I don't believe there can be great communication without compromise.
Is there
Then we're just talking at each other.
is there selfishness in that though? Did I mention something?
Be selfish
Anybody
and
No,
Nobody said selfish.
You can be selfish in your compromise, but this is part of what I teach my kids. Compromise is negotiation. So let's negotiate. You want these 3 things. You're not going to get everything you want. I want these 4 things, these 3 things. I'm not going to get everything I want. What can we both get?
I had to learn not to be so compromising.
I think we can definitely over-compromise.
Yeah, I'm one of them people that over-compromise.
But then I think that's when we fail to compromise, because if I'm giving a significant more and consistently giving more than what you're giving, is that truly compromising?
I'm a
Or is
resent
that me just rolling
that
over?
is really most of these things void of all of the things that we said. There is going to be a level of resentment, and I think that's why all of these things we chose are like pretty significant. Without communication, there you can build a level of resentment. Without compromise, there can be a level of resentment. Without liking somebody, you feel that it's a vibe. Somebody can start to be resented for that, or be resentful because of it. With all these things, I think resentment is probably one of the leading things that cause a relationship to fail. Like if you resenting somebody that you with,
yeah,
you where are you gonna go? Where do you go after that?
it's not gonna work. Nah.
You can't. I don't think it exists.
But the reason I brought up loyalty was because outside of love, I look at loyalty almost equally in terms of I need to know whether or not you're going to be, that I can turn my face and know for a fact, despite what's going on between us, that my best interest is going to be held or upheld without me having to oversee.
Are you
this
so
situation.
cook for me, for us, if we in a fight?
That's what I'm saying. That's loyalty.
That's loyalty.
No, I'm
Loyalty.
cooking for my kids. Fuck you, nigga.
See what I'm
You not
saying?
gonna cook for me? I don't get a plate?
It's gonna be there, motherfucker. I ain't making it.
You're not making a plate?
No, I'm making it for my children.
I don't know.
Fuck you, dog. I'm upset. You can make
I mean,
it.
That's cool.
I might even make with you, like, if
that's petty. That's
if
petty.
you know, no. I might make with you, like, say I'm making some shit that's
the
for the
first sentence
kids.
was petty.
No, the first sentence was petty. It wasn't petty. Y'all judged me. Y'all judged me. I might make something for the kids, but I know you don't eat that. And I might make your shit. I'm not even gonna tell you I made it though. That's petty. I'm not gonna tell you I made it. It's gonna be on the stove.
No.
And if you don't eat it, it's
But
your fault, dummy. You should have looked.
Loyalty is deeper than that. Loyalty is you not going to leave no matter what the circumstances are.
No, that's
Loyalty.
Not me. That's blind
That is
stupidity.
stupid.
That's blind
What do you
stupidity.
mean not leave no matter what the circumstances
R.Kelly.
are?
No.
Loyalty has to come with context.
I said it loosely. I said it
You
loosely.
said it very
I said it very
loosely.
loosely. I don't mean in a fucking situation where you're doing some sick shit like R.Kelly is doing. That's not loyalty. That's stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
But loyalty would have been stopping him from doing that. Loyalty would have been not even stopping him from doing that, but trying to save the people that he's doing that to.
To who? I just feel like
Because
loyalty
it's
is so
just like,
subjective. Like, who are we
if you
loyal
don't
to?
stop
Who
this
we
shit,
really talking
you're
about?
going
Are
to
we loyal
jail
to the
for
person?
the
Are we
rest of
loyal
your
to the
fucking life.
relationship? It's too
Okay.
much. It's a
Okay,
muchness
sure.
to it.
That anyway, loyalty for me again is when I'm not looking, I can count on you to be you. And
Feel
to
that.
do the things you promised that you would. And my man Chris Brown said it best. When a rich nigga wants you,
Promises are peculiar. They're a peculiar thing.
And your nigga can't do
I was
nothing
watching
for
some
you.
show and they were talking about wedding vows and how stupid they actually are because this is the first day of your wedding.
These hoes ain't
So you make this stupid. You should just make these blanket statements that kind of cover all the basic shit. The minute you get into specific shit, like in your wedding, on the first day of your marriage, you don't know what the fucking marriage is gonna look like. I've heard so many people say like that have been together for a long time. Once they get married, it's a shift for whatever reason. There's a shift in how it all works for whatever reason. I don't understand it. I think it sounds bizarre to me. Like, what kind of shift is it if you've been with somebody for 10 years and you're married and now everything's different? But apparently, it's a part of the game.
Shit change. You know what don't change? These hoes being loyal. But seriously.
I swore I knew them.
You know what would be the perfect wedding song? These hoes ain't loyal. You have to play that as your fucking wedding song. You have to try and you have to ruffle feathers and get your woman to understand that she has to be another level of loyal in order for you to tie her down. I want your woman to be loyal. No?
But if we already at the altar again, man.
Niggas don't be knowing. Or men, excuse me. Men and women.
Alright.
I just always
this
put
is
it-
like fucking uncomfortable. I
It's
felt
uncomfortable.
singled out.
No, you're not single out. Niggas too. You need to know your niggas loyal. But niggas don't find out they hoes ain't loyal until later. Niggas don't be knowing.
Relationship with it.
Niggas don't be knowing. And women don't know. Women can be niggas too.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about loyalty. I feel like, again, without communication, loyalty has no basis because you have to have context of it. I need to know what your loyalty looks like versus what mine looks like.
I think it's simple across the board though.
Nah,
that
it's
simple.
not. It's not.
It's not the blind eye. I know you're gonna do what's best for me behind my back.
How do I know that you know what's best for me?
Cause you know me.
Because we had a conversation about it.
Yeah, we had to talk about it.
That's communication. But what I'm saying is I don't expect a motherfucker that don't know me to be loyal to me. If you don't even know where the boundaries are between in our relationship, you really don't know me.
Alright, I want to ask another question, but we're going on 2 hours. So I'm going to just ask
No,
the
ask
question
the
real
question.
quick.
Go ahead.
Well, that's because you ain't putting it. Never mind.
No, I gotta go pick up my daughter.
I'm going to ask. Damn, did I lose my question? No, I didn't lose my question. You say the person knows you. Now, just be honest with yourself right now. Who really knows you?
Me?
Really knows you.
I feel like you know me.
Yeah, I know you.
I feel like
I know what I've experienced with you, what I've seen from you, what you told me. I got 5 fingers. I named 3 things. There's parts of you that I do not know.
I mean, there's parts of me you don't want to know. That my girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's my point.
That doesn't.
So I'm going to always work in your best interest, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's areas that I don't know about. So if I'm in that area, I'm going to do what I think may be best, but maybe that's not your truth. Maybe in your eyes, you're gonna know that I went in with the best intentions.
There you go.
But
Your intentions.
it
that's
wasn't aligned with what was you really wanted.
But I can't blame you.
Intentions,
I know where your
you said.
intentions are.
Yeah, but the road
It could be
the
wrong.
road to hell, I feel like I've
Are
said this
paid
before
for
about
good
intentions.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying to you is that's a good statement, and I like that. The path to hell. But if your intentions were in the right place, what I'm saying is if you weren't trying to hurt me, you might have gone wrong.
I could have been.
You
Now,
might
when
have
I
did it
talk about
wrong.
You, my girl, your lady, your guy, I had sex with somebody. It wasn't my intentions for you to find out. It wasn't my intentions to hurt you.
Yeah, banana pill. Don't you like slip on banana?
That's the
Isn't that
thing.
what you guys said? Slipping on banana pills?
See how he got jammed up? He thinking.
Oh, I didn't.
I can see him thinking.
Slipping on the banana pills is completely different than that.
Right.
You can't put that. You can't lump that into loyalty.
So now we know what we'll be talking about next week. Next week's topics we'll definitely be touching on loyalty. Listen, everybody, remember the Greek word oxymoron is in and of itself an oxymoron. Oxyman is sharp and more. It's been 3 weeks. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. What am I about to talk about? Am I about to talk about drugs? What am I talking about? I had to bring myself back. Oxyman is sharp, moron meaning dog, man. It's been 3 weeks. Sorry, y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, we're available on SoundCloud and iTunes. You can always check us out on YouTube and on Facebook Live. Peace.
Peace.